Ignorant thralls. I shall endure.
Only friends flee.
Hey, see if I care.
Oh, God.
Hello, hello. Would you like accompaniment casting this game?
Yeah, I hope someone else would come in because I would like to eat dinner while this game goes.
Well, are we on stream? Can I
Yeah,
start?
the
Can I just
stream's
leave?
been live.
Awesome. So, TSC, my old team, the boys, against PIO. PO and 3 as they're currently called. Hopefully, not PO and 4 after this game. Quick rundown of draft. We got a minute left, but we can dive into this thing real quick. Chase Pentamesta on PO is getting threshed for the first time this season, so hopefully that is a boon. And
Could be the last time this season.
Yeah,
Could
first
be the
and last time.
season.
If they win on it, I think everybody might notice the trend and continue to ban the Thresh. I think TSC's bans are pretty interesting. Zac is just annoying, and Poe Panda has been known to play a mean Zac. They've got the classic J Chung bans. I feel like a lot of bans against PIO are just targeted at J Chung and his mid pool. Interesting to see Mitch on the Kayn. He's been kind of relegated, like me, to Maokai duty for most of the season in Udyr, and I'm excited to see what he can bring out on a carry champion. He plays Assassins, he plays Evelynn, he plays Twitch, he plays a lot of more carry-oriented stuff. So hopefully Michipoo can pull out a dub on the Kayn. But ultimately, I think this game is going to largely come down to Rito Burrito and Plobe the Warrior in the top lane, Jace versus Jax. Who can come out on top. I feel that Burrito has been able to open up gaps on most of his opponents thus far this season and establish himself as one of the premier tops, as everybody kind of already knew. And I think Plobe is a good measuring stick to go up against, especially on Jax, which is sort of a stat stick, a check, and see how well he can do against everybody's good friend, PJ. But hopefully we're going to start loading in-game now instead of the client. But
Yep. I expect Plobe to try to play safe. Give Kayn time to farm.
yeah,
And we
I
should
mean,
be hopping right in.
knowing PJ, he hopefully will play like that, but also having played with him, I think there's times where he just kind of licks his lips and he sees that kill and he sees it and he goes for it. But I don't actually think I've ever seen him play his Jax, so we'll have to see. I think Javi's Karthus is a terrifying character to have let through. I know I've seen games like this where he is just farms, plays safe, does nothing for the first. Ooh, the
And
BM out of
J-Chung.
J-Chung. God damn. No
Strikes
respect.
first.
That's,
oh man.
Javi's going to take that personally, but his Karthus is just like, he gets 2 or 3 items, and bam. He just presses R in team fights and wins them for his team. So Karthus is very scary to let him kind of free farm and get ahead, so hopefully we see Poe Panda focusing this immobile Karthus a little bit, getting the Vel'Koz nice and thick. Looking at these lanes, I think top lane is actually a pretty good gank for PO. Sedge Jace will stack up the freeze very quickly on Jax, and as long as they don't grief into the counter-strike, they should be fine. Bot lane is super immobile for Sejuani, so this Sejuani has great gank opportunities. I think the Kayn's going to have a lot more trouble getting on top of the bottom lane of PO, and without the immense gank assist mid or top, it's not an easy path for Kayn to take. So we'll see how what Michipoo does without super easy gank opportunities. Kayn starting topside leashless. That is interesting, especially not starting Raptors. He's starting as red. Sejuani also starting bot leashless. They're both in a both teams trying to confuse the other and not let them know where their junglers are starting. This is some early aggression on the PO's bottom lane. They're gonna get chunked here. They could go down. This is a yeah, maybe the Thresh is gonna be all right going through in the future. I don't think too concerned after that one, but that's first blood to TSC's bottom lane. I think everybody who's bet under 1.5 ADC first bloods is happy, because this is now the 3rd game where we have not had an ADC death. So unless the next 2 first blood is ADCs, under wins that bet, which is good to know. Both junglers pathing opposite sides. I think with those sums down, Michipoo could have a interesting time bottom lane trying to get a gank off, even with the Thresh Lantern. He could have a much easier opportunity than he could previously, and We'll see what Sejuani can do topside, especially with Burrito pushing in. Not going to be able to do much against the Jax with the lane state where it's at. Get river control though, grab Scuttle, hopefully get a ward or so. Try and figure out where the Kayn is, and then probably take your recall and reset for bot side. Okay, PJ's going aggressive on Burrito. Burrito uses Smack, so he's available, and that is a support Lux top lane at 3.5 minutes. This is what every top laner loves to see. The only thing they like more is when a jungle and a support show up at 3.5 minutes. Poe's gonna look for PJ, but I don't think he wins this. While Burrito is getting caught in the jungle, Hobby's gonna go down. No, he gets out and gets the kill. I would be tilted AF. Miles is. Ooh my god, he dodges the hook. He predicts it, and he steps back down into the lane like a champion. That ain't easy, but when you sidestep a thrush like that in his face, it's a demoralizing feeling for the hook to miss like that. Yeah, ultimately, after that gank topside, it leads to a kill on Burrito, a long walk down, but eventually happens. A few flashes blown though. Pika Pika. Javi flashes down, Burrito's flash down, so net sums to PIO, but kill goes over to TSC. And all this while, Michipu has been able to just get a single camp lead. He's now invading the top side of PIO and hopefully getting some vision down, protect PJ, get him a little bit of control on his top side before he probably takes his recall and heads back to get his first buy off. This is his second buy because he's got a tier now. But despite the early death, Jace has a good farm lead and has a freeze on Plobe. Plobe should be somewhat comfortable pushing up. He's got a ward deep in the top side as well as one in the river, 2 pings, so he knows and should have a good idea that the Sejuani is not on that side of the map and he is safe to go up and try and contest this wave despite its disadvantageous position. It looks like the freeze has been broken. Javi could go down here. He is flashless, and that is a Vel'Koz solo bolo onto the Karthus. Just land the knockup, land the W, get the true damage off, and then pop R, and that is a melted Lich in the mid lane. There's this gank looking bot right now. They know they're on vision, and they know the Sejuani's here, so let's see if, oh my god, the Lux bind, if it just stopped this entire play, that's going to be so disappointing. Nope, Pika gets hooked. He does not have flash, so he's going to go down here, but he drags him along for a while, and Kayn is on the way down. There is a chance Mitch can look to have a assist here, maybe at least get some Kayn stacks. He dodges the trap, gets in. Autos, no, he is gonna go down as well, over-committing for the Caitlyn, who is on, good god, that has to be single-digit HP. Miles, Defy Insight's gonna drop 2, and that is 3 kills over in the bottom lane after a good gank, good vision control by PIO to get that one off, and TSC thought they were laying a trap, but little did they know, PIO was the one with the trap card the whole time. Matt, I know you wish you could kite on Kate like that too, but it takes a true skilled AD carry to kite like that. I'm sure one day you'll be able to kite on Kate like that. Even after that play and 3 kills over bot side, TSC feels like they've got enough to control bottom side to take this dragon. It looks like it's just a lack of vision on PIO's part because they have jungle and bot lane still down here. So it feels like they should be able to step up and take this, but not gonna happen. Cures it, even with the Sejuani trying to steal it, but back to top side. Dragon's gone. There's nothing more interesting to happen on top side. PJ does not block the knockback on Jace, and the trade resets. But now that Sheen is on Jax, looks like he's starting to get the better of his trades. The flash in, the follow up, and that is a dead Jace in the top side. Good night, Sweet Prince. Oop, this is a good gank bot. Dead Ash, no sums. Actually, he had flash. He didn't do anything there. Wow. Okay, we're back. So gold lead currently PO, 500 gold. Drake lead to TSC. Lots of kills and blown sums all over the map, but ultimately this is still anybody's game. I think PO has done a lot of good in the early games of the season, getting early leads, establishing themselves in control, and then not being able to close out. But hopefully they've got near 1,000 gold now in the lead. They've got a strong bottom lane, a strong mid. If they can shut down this Jax and not let PJ start to take over on this champion and split them on the map and force them into difficult decisions, that would be a hopefully their path to victory here. Stop the dragon stacking, but that will depend on them continuing to assert control bot side. PJ's caught. He's diving onto the Sejuani, which is a very odd position, but he's going towards his team. He's going towards Mitch and Pika Pika. We're looking for this Herald. Despite 4 members of TSC here, there are 4 members of PO as well. Ash can contribute across the map with an arrow that looks like it's coming in. It's going to hit onto the Vel'Koz, and that is the immediate time for the Jax to leap in. Good luck, Sult over the top, and that is what seems to be very good and clear communication from TSC that the Ash arrow is coming in and to be ready for it to hit and press their buttons when it does. This might be an overchase though. Clove has gone in, but he's now fighting 3v1. A little bit of support coming from the Lux, but nothing more. So ultimately a 2 for 2. But Herald is still yet to be claimed by either team. All that skirmishing, Herald's still up, still available. Teams licking their wounds, waiting on respawns, seeing how far they can stick their heads out after that fight, where vision is. Ping's coming down on the dragon in 30 seconds. It looks like that's what people want to contest next, rather than looking at the Herald. With no Herald take, that means there's no additional plates from Shelly this game. Got a little bit of a lane swap. Kind of makes sense with how the Jax was dealing with the Jace topside. They've swapped this in the Karthus spot, or they've swapped this in Jace spot and matched the Karthus. Bot lanes are mid, and seeing what the Vel'Koz can do against Jax, which does not seem like a fair matchup for the Vel'Koz.
Fancy a treat?
That is almost dead. No, PJ backed off and he knows. That's the dead. But TSC trading Dragon for Herald, 1-to-1 drag, so that's going to take away the early soul potential for TSC. But PIO is probably happy to have stopped that and to have gotten the Infernal on their side. We're ending up with a Hex Deck Rift. Don't forget to take your portals, ladies and gentlemen. They will get you there far faster than walking on foot. I highly recommend it. In fact, Walker is playing Arcane Jace to remind you all, take your Hex Deck portals. But we'll see, and I shall shame anybody who fails to take it coming out of base. We are now in a lull, which is where I would ask if somebody was next to me, hey, who do you think is going to win this game? Based on where we're at. We're even in gold. We're at 15 minutes. We're even in Drakes. Who do we think scales better? Who do we think has a better opportunity? But I've got nobody sitting beside me. Mitchie Poo has gone Blue Kayn, which I feel most people right now in the state of League of Legends would assume if you're playing Kayn, you're going red. I assume we probably should have guessed that earlier on by the tier build. Not a Kayn connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination, but I believe the tier into Muramana is typically a Blue Kayn indicator, not a red Kayn indicator. And this fits Mitch's playstyle. Hopefully he can turn it on. Currently 0-3-3. But the Kayn can get very annoying when you're trying to play around objectives mid to late, and Blue Kayn can come speeding through walls from literally half the map over and jump into a carry without them having any recourse. But we got to fight top lane. Burrito easily hits the knockback onto Jax and disengages. We've got both teams looking to hover around this top side. Don't want to give up this tower. 17 minutes. Just don't want to give up the extra gold, even though, there's not much to claim on the map besides this. So, might as well fight over it. That is a painful Jace Shock Blast onto the Lux. Didn't get the shield off in time. Gets chunked. Mythics, I'm glad to see Popanda has gone Radiant Virtue and not the what's called the Heartsteel. Heartsteel is just, I think, generally kind of a troll item right now, and very hard to stack when you're not directly against the lane opponent, so I'm glad to see the Radiant Virtue, which will give the team lots of utility, lots of healing. Ooh, the gank topside on the Burrito. This Kayn's gonna go in, but he's a little bit ahead of the Jax, and it still nets a kill for TSC. This control topside probe is probably going to use this to take top tower. Finally open that up. Ooh, with the Herald, I feel that PIO's got to rotate more people up there. Is Bloke going to die to turret? He is. Really got to be careful for those minions. They are not his friend. The Kate ult's going to come in over the top. Nope. Sadly, no Kate ult under the Jax. Luckily for Michipu here, aside from the Sejuani, he's got some pretty darn good blue cane targets. 2 immobile carries, Jace isn't hypermobile either, all relatively squishy. Once he gets his items, he's going to be effective. This isn't a cane that you're going to see fall off as people get beefier. He's going to have kill opportunities, should he choose to take them. And I'm just concerned watching this game. For those of you that care about my commentary, who's going to stop this Jax in the next 15 to 20 minutes? Nobody can match him. And they've got a Karthus ult that can come down over top should he ever end up in disadvantageous matchups. And once this Karthus gets another item or two, he's going to be half-healthing squishies. And if you support his Jax over the top with that, this is going to be a very hard split to stop. This is third Drake. Second for TSC, and Globe blows his TP to get back topside and stop that second tower from going down. They might catch Globe being greedy, but nope, he just hops back to a minion, gets out. Drake lead TSC, gold lead PIO. I think a big problem they're facing right now is they want to get this Jax space, but with how well PIO have staunchly defended mid lane, it's very hard for TSC to crush that mid tower and really open up the enemy jungle for wards and control. So they're currently struggling to be able to let the Jax push out too far and really push his advantage, not able to get that map control. Mayo, I'm not sure that's true, and I think you might need to go back to elementary school, because I don't think those two rhyme. And I wish I could post that to chat. Do plobe and blows rhyme? I will post that one in chat. I'm still not convinced people can hear me, but if you can. Do plobe and blows rhyme? Who is right, Mayo or me? I say no. Mayo says yes. Post the question, make it a poll. I can't make polls, sadly. I am but a random person who decided to cast this game. I have no control over this channel. Both of you are upsetting me because Mayo spelled pole wrong. He spelled it P-O-L-E, as in like a pole in the ground. And Landry, you just said I am right, as in I am writing on a piece of paper, and not I am right, as in I am correct. Both of you are awarded no points, and may God have mercy on your souls. Back to the game. This is a attempted chunk onto the Kate. Had a little bit of happy feet dodging most of it, but against Lux, Ashe is still, ooh, big fight, big engage onto the Lux, who is overextended, testing her luck, and gets promptly annihilated by the engage of PO. They were tired of hearing her shout by the light and decided no you, and beat the shit out of her. Don't keep triggering me, I'm already trap casting by myself. I don't need it. Oh god, Landry, stop. Ooh. "22 minutes, both mid towers are still up for both teams. I feel this game is going far slower than it could because neither team can really get control on the other side of the map until those towers are down. AD carries and supports have just been dutifully clearing waves. But until those towers down, Michipu trading aggressively with the Sejuani. As somebody who's played this matchup, I don't think he wins, but both are confident because they have backup coming. Ultimately ends up looking like TSC, who's going to get this vision control with Plobe rotating down. The Kane is scouting through the wall, back onto Sejuani, just scaring her off. Ultimately, vision control won by TSC. Will it lead anywhere? Only time will tell. But perhaps gives the Jack's top lane a little bit of security to shove that wave out, and now is moving back into the river. Kane is caught, gets rooted up, but is able to dash out, flash out, ultimately is safe. But here comes the Jack, the ult over the top of the Jax. Easy kill onto the Caitlyn. This is what I'm talking about. Get Javi a few items, bada bing, bada boom. You know what, I respect this TSC. Even if you go down men in this fight, taking down this mid tower is huge. Ooh, and the flash to kill the Vel'Koz. It looks like it's going to be a 3-for-3, but Javi is here to support. See what he can do. Burrito's going to melt down. No. If Javi flashes in for it. 3-for-4. Can Javi support his Lux? Lux hit the bind. She does, and I think this is the spell's death for our friend Po Panda. Nope. I just keep lying. Sejuani is out. Goodbye. Say goodbye to that pig. Jason, they keep missing abilities on CC'd targets because they're not as good as you. How is this a question? Oh my god, okay, TSC, they're all taking the portal. That's 3 through the portal. Miles, if you don't take this portal... Oh my god, Miles isn't taking the portal. His Ashe isn't taking the portal. Okay, everybody shame Miles not taking the portal. Whereas all of PIO takes it. The Ashe did not. For shame. However, this is third Drake for TSC, so PIO would love to stop it, but they just aren't in position. They don't have vision control. Po Panda takes one for the team, goes in to try and steal it despite no vision control. And despite his best efforts, Michipu is able to secure. Ooh, he sidesteps the hook, baits it out, and now he's looking at the Thresh. I don't know if that's the target he wants. He's getting rooted up by Sejuani, but ultimately with no backup, Sejuani knows, Po is smarter than that, knows to back out. He and Thresh can't kill the Kane before the team gets there. Ultimately, Po Panda quietly racking up a 4-0-6 for himself. Mitch the opposite, a good old 0-4-6. So Po is that's a pretty strong sedge right there. Gonna be able to get into fights, disrupt the backline. That Radiant Virtue healing is gonna be kind of nice. Hopefully gets a little bit more HP under him, maybe a good old Warmogs. Give that team big heals when he goes in and presses R. You know what, Mayo? We'll ask that to whoever I interview at the end of this by myself, if Clove and Blows rhyme, and we'll see what they have to say. And that'll be our answer. We'll leave it up to whoever gets interviewed. But now with Dragon down, it looks like both teams are just jockeying for Baron control. TSC had gotten vision down. PIO's like, nope, no vision for you. We're clearing it out. But ultimately, with the Scuttle Crab in TSC's favor, it's going to be very hard. Oop. That was a great arrow and initiation onto the Vel'Koz. With that dead, that is a clear go signal for the rest of TSC. The Jax is in there. The Jax is sending up the Sejuani. This is the angle they need. Mitch takes the dash out of the Sejuani and chunks the Kate. Maybe an overdive here with trading 2 for 2 ultimately. Mid jungle for top jungle. Ooh. The Jace catches out the Ashe. That is now 3 for 3. (15-15) at 27 minutes. They are punching each other repeatedly, and nobody's backing down. Resets on both sides. Licking wounds, going back to base, getting pink wards, the whole everybody's favorite portion of the game. Will OGC Pika Pika, Matthew, collegiate level support. Is he going to use the portal? Is the Lux using the portal? No, he is not. How is he not using his portal? Nobody on PIO just used the portal. Why are people ignoring this? Mitch does it, because Mitch actually knows how to play League of Legends. Thank you, Mitch. You get a gold star after this game. Interesting. At 28 minutes, the Caitlyn is getting red buff, but Kayn is taking it on the other side. But I suppose with Ashe having slows on autos, doesn't need it. Most AD carries I know will be going, "Wee, give me red." But Mitch doesn't care. Giga Chad says, no, red buff is mine. I'm 158, my red buff. Which I can respect. Looks like they're looking for this catch bottom lane on the Vel'Koz. He's got all of his sums now, and I don't think Mitch wants to take that fight by himself. At best, he chunks him for the Karthus to kill, but trades himself in the process, and also that level of commitment bot lane, while Baron is up, could spell TSC's demise. What I'd like to see out of both teams here is PIO's got a great catch up. They've got a lot of abilities if they can get and set themselves up and around an objective like they're doing right now. Set the Caitlyn traps down, get vision, poke with the Vel'Koz, poke with the Jace, poke with the Caitlyn, set up for thresh hooks, set up for Sejuani ults. Like, what is TSC, who's going to walk in here and need anything? Jax? Jax is going to walk into a thresh hook and get melted by a Vel'Koz? Like, there's no way for TSC to get into this fight now. PIO have just, by getting here early enough, choked them out. Look at this poke. Look at the health on Pika Pika. Look at the health on Michipoo. They are out of this fight. If they can go up to Baron and do this, what is TSC going to do in response? TSC needs to get Plobe in this side lane where nobody can match him and actually, you know, force PIO into tough decisions and force them to, you know, either commit to, you know, objectives and lose towers or try and fight 4v4s. Because right now, if PIO executes on Baron like this, they could literally walk up to Baron and do this exact same thing, and TSC is going to, you know, have their heads in their hands because they don't know what the hell to do. Michipoo, the intelligent player he is, predicts this, and it's like, I'm not going to look for vision control. I'm going to go capture that top side myself, but maybe has bit off more than he can shoot with his blue steel. Doesn't end up getting it because he smites early, and Burrito decides, no, you shall pay for your transgressions, and that he does, and dies. This hopefully sets up the Baron angle for PIO. They see the Jax bottom side. Vel'Koz isn't huge onto the Baron, so it's at worst a 3v4, but PJ decides, no, you killed my jungler, I kill your mid laner, and he has had enough of his insolence. He's like, it's time for me to side lane, back to my kingdom. Only Vel'Koz had the ability to turn. Yeah, you know, that would be a great item when a Jax is looking to leap on your head. I do agree. Or, you know, if a Karthus is casting a big death beam on your head, or even a Lux is shooting a Kamehameha at you, the ability to press a button, not take damage for a few seconds, but especially against three physical damage dealers, doesn't seem bad. But instead opts for a QSS to stop the Jax stun. No comment, because I'm not a mid laner. I'm not a mid laner, so I'm not commenting on it. But I agree with you that I would have gotten a good old stopwatch instead of a, ooh, this is all just whiffing onto Burrito. He's just, I don't even think he sidestepped. I think he just right-clicked back into his own jungle, and Mitch and Miles, you know, tried to 1000 IQ, but didn't hit anything. And now PIO starts the Baron, seeing this, you know, aggression bottom side, but ends up peeling off. Kayn is able to get there real fast, zooming around the rift. Surprisingly, PIO just lets them walk in and take vision back. You notice, unlike the last time, look at where these Kate traps are. They're not choking off an entrance. They let TSC walk back in. With the control PIO had, you already showed it. You know how to set up around objectives. Don't let them walk in. Choke them out. For shame. jockeying for vision control is absolutely riveting. Ooh. Does he spot him? He does, but he's gonna get... Oh, he does not get the TP off, and he pops the cleanse late. I don't think cleanse or a stopwatch would have helped them there. Oh, God. Oh, shit. That's comedic timing, holy fuck. Oh, Lord, okay. PJ, please, for the love of God, kill this bot tower. It should not be up this late into the game. Just sit in the side lane, run everybody down. You know what to do. Just please, just sit in the side lane. And PIO, please just go and set up the Baron correctly. You've done it on Dragon. I believe in you. I believe in your setups. Look for a pick. You've got so much pick potential. Quit sending the Vel'Koz to match the Jax. Okay, so we're not gonna fight for Baron. We're gonna fight for potential Dragon Soul. I don't know why the timer says it's an Infernal in the top left when it is very clearly a Hextech drink. And all I know is this Caitlyn. No flame. I don't know you, but I have not seen you use a Hextech portal this game. I'm disappointed. You're using Arcane Caitlyn. This is the skin. Look at your character and then remember what the whole premise of that story was. We have this soul fight, which, while PIO doesn't have direct control, they are in a good position to sit here and poke. Poke Panda does a good job of eating the hook. Whiffs the ulti, but tanks enough damage that with all the poke and long distance damage coming out of PIO, it looks like they're advantageous in this fight. They set up with the Vel'Koz ult. They're going to lose some here to the Javi's Karthus ult, but still an advantageous fight for PIO. Popanda sadly does not have his Warmogs yet. Start healing back up. We'll grab some yummy fruits to hopefully get back up. And I don't know how much TSC can have to say about this now that Sejuani's got her passive back up, now that she's gotten a little bit of healing. He dodges the Lux ult. That is pretty huge, keeping himself topped off. They hook the Kayn. The Kayn is down. That's huge. They could take out this Lux, who is a clear thorn in their side. This would be objective for PIO. But Float's coming up in 10 seconds, we'll have TP. Javi's up in 10 seconds. Pika Pika takes a huge chunk. That opens up the entire space for PIO to tie us. Potentially 3 Jakes to 3 here. Everybody's up, but we got TSC's TPs coming in. One from Javi and one from Plove. Oh, God. We got no TP out of Burrito. So it's going to be late. Can Poe get in there and steal it? No, PJ guarantees it and says, you will not take this objective from me. And that is... Ooh. Burrito says, no soul for you, and steals it with the Shock Blast. Dude, I feel like this is a classic PIO game. These guys are like fighting tooth and nail, beating the hell out of them. And hopefully, they can close this one out. This gold lead even in Drake's at 37 minutes. I want to see in chat, are we looking at P1 and 3, or are we looking at PO and 4 here? What are we looking at? Somebody give me some level of human interaction. I feel like I'm in a isolation chamber right now. What's nice about that whole thing too was that he didn't even TP in his chase. He took his Hextech portals and got to the objective in a timely fashion, unlike the TSC players who used their teleports instead. And now that puts PIO up on TPs, both mid and top, while no TPs on TSC's side. So theoretically, they can match side lanes and not worry about the Baron. In fact, they can force TSC to answer them without these, but to be determined on whether or not they will take that. Oh my God, Mayo, thank you, Jesus.
Okay, but I just got to join. Walker, that last series was amazing. Stole the dragon, saved his AD carry from the clutches of the evil PJ. Really nice stuff. Great event by Mr. Burrito.
Yeah, and it's especially good after he had a tougher early game against
True.
Jax.
Yeah,
With
you know, he was always.
make.
And I was gonna say he was always doing well in CS. So his score was like 0-4 or 1-4 or whatever it was, but it was keeping up in CS. So it was only a matter of time. He'd have the gold in his pockets to buy the items to be able to make the plays that he made in that last fight. But now, the Baron setup, you do your casting thing.
Oh, that's a hook on
good
Bullock,
hook.
but an immediate cleanse.
Yeah.
That was a what is it? Is Jackie Love is the cleanse or not?
No,
Jackie
it's
Love?
it's Captain Jack. Captain Jack.
Yeah, Captain Jack is the one.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
was a quick cleanse out of Pika Pika, knowing that if he did not go sooner, they were going to stack all of their CC and poke onto him, and he would be dead. But I feel like PO, given the amount of setup they have, the amount of pick potential they have. See, look at this. They got the bot tower. They know they have TP advantage. They know TSC isn't going to start in their face with 2 TPs up. And so they're just like, cool, we're going to take your towers, and we're going to, force you off the objective and force you to answer side lanes with no TPs.
Right. Yeah.
So this hopefully allows them to extend the gold lead and get their setup.
This is a really close, really interesting game. I actually don't know what team is favored from this position. You've got the scaling of a Karthus, but you've got this Jace that is, coming into his own, making more plays, and also has just 5 trillion gold in CS in his back pocket. Caitlyn, Ashe, 2 relatively strong late game AD carries up. There's a hook, and there's a laser.
Yeah, this is where I would love to have seen the Kate traps. I would love to see if we have the ramp. It doesn't look like there's any on the ramp from the red side jungle to Baron. It's like you guys are hitting the objective. You need to make sure those Kate traps are down and you're setting it up. Sure, the Kayn can come through the wall, but if you've trapped off the entrance so the rest of his team can't follow up, that Kayn is easy pickings. And it's sort of it's what seems to be pretty simple objective control that in the heat of the moment is hard to remember.
Yeah, and I want to kind of talk about this Vel'Koz build, because you guys have been mentioning Azanias, and I agree. I'm not sure why we don't have Azanias in this build so far. I don't know why he went QSS versus stopwatch. Maybe it's like a timing thing, where you can use QSS more often. But it doesn't build into anything for mid laners, I don't think. So that's a bit of a curious choice there. I would have liked to see Azanias as well, especially in a game like this.
Now,
but not PIO on the Baron. Yeah.
And,
Wow. Okay, they just went into position to respond. So very cool.
yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
TSC, maybe TSC's thinking we want to get this soul, we want to take it. So with a
Yeah.
minute out, they said, "Oh, look at all the pinks they've placed down here.
Yeah.
They're looking to get a pick. They're looking to get the soul." But
Yeah.
it sort of feels like you just completely forgot about the fact that Baron exists.
Yeah. Oh, put this trap here. Okay, the Thresh is in trouble.
Though, who seems
Okay.
fine.
Oh,
And
that is
dead.
so bad. They
Back.
didn't even get the Thresh. This is so bad. And
Yeah,
just in time
Oak
for
is
Dragon
coming
too.
out
And the
Julio
Jace is running through them. Oh, this is a huge play. That breaks the game open. So they killed the Thresh in the end, but even if the Thresh got picked quickly, it's a Thresh in this comp where you've got Caitlyn and Vel'Koz and Jace and all sorts of other legitimate threats. A quadra kill for this Walker guy. Like I said, all this CS, all this gold, it was only a matter of time before he made his presence known in this game, and he's doing that here.
Yeah, I think you asked earlier who do we favor at this point in the game, and I think with proper setups, I think the PO comp between the poke out of the Vel'Koz, the poke out of the Jace, the poke out of the Caitlyn, they have so much ability to both check their own jungle for plays like that, but then also when they get around the objective, just chunk out people like Plobe, who the Vel'Koz and the Jace aren't even on his screen when he leaps onto the Thresh there, and they chunk him for half his life. So with Baron and now Soul under their belts, this is at least going to be an inhibitor.
Yeah.
Depending on how TSC play the defense.
How risky they're feeling, yeah. I think Lust can probably clear. Yeah, that was a really interesting sequence. Like you said, TSC probably looking to set up for the Dragon. I just forgot all about the Baron, moved to the Dragon too quickly, they couldn't actually do anything. So they let the Baron go, and then it was unfortunate, they set up a bush trap, but the Thresh walked in, which is basically the most relevant champion, on PIO. You'd rather even have the Sejuani go in. Even if you kill the Sejuani, at least they don't have smite for the Dragon fight, but Thresh walks in, he's irrelevant, you don't want to burn your cooldowns on some useless support hook guy, and they don't get the kill on the Thresh. PIO comes in, again, from all angles, wipes them, gets the Dragon, now they have the Baron and an inhib, and they're poised to push for the win here. I mean, not like literally right now, but just conceptually, they're not.
They are definitely in the driver's seat.
Yeah, that's what a caster would say. I'm fired.
Get out of here.
Yeah, get me out of here.
I think Walker has turned it on in the last like 10 minutes. He's kind of realized, wait, I am chunking dudes. And when you look at their team, we talk about the poke, and you look at TSC side. Who the hell's supposed to eat it?
Yeah,
None
exactly.
of these characters can eat an empowered Jace Q at this point. None of these
You're right.
people can eat the Vel'Koz Q. Or
Very
they're
true.
losing a third to half of
Yeah.
their life. And it's
Yeah.
like, you want to send PJ? You want to
Yeah.
send a Jax? You want to send your, like,
Yeah.
he needs to be in a side lane, and if he's eating stuff for you, you have no fight, no tank to fight with.
Yeah.
Plobe is noticing
Oh,
there's a
but
bit
no,
more.
I think he wants to
fight off
recall.
here.
Yeah, that's a very good point on the poke. Yeah, there's nobody with any tank stats on the side of TSC. They have one Ocean Drake for regen and no champions with heals. So all poke that lands is really, really sticky. No Warmogs. Yeah, there's no champion that could eat any poke from any of these champions without potentially getting one shot. So it's a really dicey situation. The zone control from PIO is really coming online now. Makes it really, really, really hard to play this comp from this point onwards. But not all hope is lost yet. Again, they still have a late game card this with a lot of gold. They've got the pick potential with Ashe Lux. And a lot of damage coming from the jungler as well. So one wrong move from PIO, and this could very well still be a PIO 0-4. We're gonna have to see how they kind of move to close it out here.
Yeah. No Baron, it's dropped off at this point, so PO is struggling to necessarily get the waves in. But look at that chunk. Walker is just like, hi, eat my empowered Q, and please go back to your base. I'd like this tower.
Yeah, I don't know who the Jace players are in KR, but is Flame still a cool guy? Let's say it's Flame's Jace. I don't really know.
I don't think Flame has been a pro for like. I don't think he's been a pro player for the better part of half a decade. Like I think the last time he was a pro, wasn't he on Immortals or something?
Yeah, but everybody still says Flame Horizon. Is that not a thing? All right.
Flame Horizoning, obviously, yeah, it's still a thing. Just like the Captain Jack and
yeah, the insect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't play top. How am I supposed to know these things?
The X-Smithy.
Give me a break.
Poe has had one X-Smithy this game, but he's been generally on point on his Sejuani these last few games I've seen him play, so I am not gonna fault him for missing one Bola out of the many he's hit this game.
Right.
Look at him taking the portal. He's such a smart player.
Also, this Jack split push is worth considering because we mentioned that PIO has a lot of poke, but every time we see Jacks on a solo lane and somebody tries to hold them, they just get murdered. If it's just them. Yeah. So we don't really have anybody on the side of PIO that can answer the split. They kind of have to death ball and poke out and kind of get objectives. The good thing from PIO, or actually for TSC, is that they have some time. My Elder's not going to be up for 2 minutes plus, and Baron's down for a little while.
Baron's up 55, so they don't have a lot of time.
Oh, they don't. I was okay. Look, Bronze Caster. Okay,
Yellow Star missing the ward over the wall. Dakar, isn't that the one where you try to ward over to
I thought that was the Scar ward where you like fail the
that's
ward or
the
whatever.
Scar ward. You're right.
Yeah.
Yellow Stars, you flash in on Thresh, you miss hook, you miss play.
That's right.
And you stop ulti and walk away because you fucking missed everything.
That push. I remember that play. It was in bot try. That's a good one.
But yeah, we can see like you were talking about where the Plobe is pushed up now. He's got TP, but look at what PO's done. They've realized, hey, we plant our asses around objectives and we start getting control.
Right.
And Plobe can go and split bullish all he wants. We're just gonna set up around the objectives, and you guys aren't gonna be able to come in.
Yeah.
And so it puts TSC in a hard place of like, do we try and fight around the objective? Do we TP Plobe in, or do we bank on this? He's going to be able to kill the QSS Vel'Koz in the bottom lane, but it looks like PO's just going to try to burn it with the control they have.
They do have good skill tools. Yeah. Okay, no, they secured it with the Caitlyn auto. Okay, and then the jungler's dead. This is real bad for TSC.
Yeah, Mitch is going to struggle here.
Karthusar is going to do a lot of damage. Oh, is Plobe dead down there? Plobe is alive. Okay, that might be relevant later on. Maybe not, because TSC is getting...
Chase lands the hook. He does not Yellow Star. That is a dead
luck. Flex is also dead.
At this point, I think PJ's just got to split and try to base race him. I don't think he wins, but that's his. Nope, Walker's back.
Oh, and Walker's there. But Plobe doesn't have the mana to solo kill him under tower. It'd be possible, champion to champion, but Plobe doesn't have the mana to really fight this.
Burrito says nope.
Okay.
You don't get to be the hero today.
This might be the end of PO and X. Looks like they're really poised to kind of
PO wants the Elder though. They are not taking it. Even with 20-second death timers, the Karthus the only one alive, and Baron buff on their side. They don't choose to fight the solo Karthus. I think this is a little
overly cautious. Possible. Yeah. Maybe they're thinking Hobby's body or Karthus's body can clear creeps well enough.
they're rotating top lane and not getting anything when the Elder's
Yeah.
up. I feel like they should have just, if they weren't
Yeah.
going to take the end, they immediately rotate to Elder.
Yeah,
But
they lowered it a little bit. That's true. Definitely an opportunity to kind of clamp down harder there now to take more advantage to take the game. But they are still well and truly in control. At this point, Jax is not going to be up in time to contest this. I'm imagining that TSC probably just gives this up. And then with Elder bearing down, Baron buff for a little while longer, it's going to be real tough for
Mitchie's
TSC.
in the area. He is. Oh my God, Walker is like, I have got your number, dude.
Do they have vision on it? They do. So we have a Lux Laser potential steal. Oh,
Yeah,
but they secured it.
They had the Ash hop shot.
Yeah, the E to
They
see
were
it.
aware
Yeah.
of it going down. Oh my
Oh, that
God,
guy's
Walker
gone.
is.
Yep. Good night.
He's a man on a mission. He was tired of the PO and 4 memes.
Nah. Said no more for me. Man, Walker just really in the mid to late game here. Doing a lot of work on this Jace.
P1 and 3. They're looking to shut
You know,
it
we
down
definitely
now.
have to interview this Walker guy this game.
I will. Yeah. Oh
and
my
that's great
God,
news
that
for me.
chunk, and they literally can just.
This is where it ends. Oh, Javi's alive. Club is definitely dead here. He
It's
didn't
a
take anybody with
4v1,
him. Yeah.
And the
Well,
Jace. Yeah.
It looks like PIO is well on its way.
Good
Yep,
night,
that's it.
sweet base.
Wow. Great game all around by PIO. Let's go grab our person, which I would imagine is going to be Walk. Are we agreed or no?
I would agree on Walker, but jump in there and see if they have anybody they'd
Oh,
rather
yeah, any
send.
recommendations?
Oh my God, look at that damage.
yeah, it was yeah, it's not even close.
Hop in there and ask who they want, yeah. Look who is here.
How's it going?
We are vastly impressed by that Jace play. And overall, PIO coming back from the 0-3 start, taking a win against what probably was considered one of the top of the table teams, or at least one of the 2-1 teams. So congrats on that. How does it feel to officially have a tally in the W column?
Feels fantastic. I've got to be honest. I'm gonna miss the PO and whatever memes. Those were they were a very bright silver lining. But happy to be here.
Yeah, if you can continue the life of the meme, it feels good, but it also feels bad as your mental slowly drains from losing games.
Yeah.
Ooh, we have an excellent meme. Can you tell us a little bit? You might have asked Jay Chung. We were asking questions in chat over here. Do you know the choice in purchasing QSS on Vel'Koz rather than a stopwatch and/or a Zanya's hourglass? Can you possibly enlighten us as to the decision making there?
I think it was because I kept forcing him to side lane because it reached the point where I didn't feel comfortable laning against Jax, and I felt like my poke was just too much for them to answer in the clump, so I just stuck him in the side lane against Jax. And I think it was because he was getting arrowed or engaged on with the Jax stun, and he just wanted to be able to cleanse it and run away.
Very fair. Very fair.
Yeah, there were a lot of Ash arrows. A lot of Ash arrows that game. That makes sense actually. The QSS. Yeah, that's a good explanation.
And then, how did y'all, looking at your composition, I was pretty hot on it while you guys, I think it was third Drake. You guys got there 30, 40 seconds early. You set up your Kate traps. You set up your vision line. And with Vel'Koz, Jace, Caitlyn, it is you're walking through no man's land in artillery if you're TSC to try and get it on that dragon. Was that an intentional compositional choice? Or was this just crafting for comfort?
Yeah, this composition was just built to create space and stop them from being able to come in. It was they don't pick a lot of engaged champions. So since they didn't have any ways to really get on top of us besides an Ash arrow, it really allowed us to just pick a comp that doesn't have as much mobility, but we can just stop them from coming in and keep them at arm's length. And then just kite them out and win.
That's definitely interesting, and I think you had, I wouldn't say a rough early game because you were even in CS, but you were definitely getting focused a little bit, and PJ was jumping on your head every so often with Jax. I have to imagine, I don't know the cooldown super well, but I imagine Jack's Leap Strike has a shorter cooldown than Jace's Knockback, so it's like a game of chicken. But how did you feel kind of starting off a little bit behind and, like you said, struggling to contain this Jax, this carry split push threat, and eventually I mean, just dude, look at your damage. 70k in a 49-minute game. That's still incredibly impressive from what most would say was a weaker early game.
Yeah, the goal of the Jace was just to boom lane and get out ahead. And then I went 0-4, which if people recall back to the B gang days, you should never make me go 0-4. That's like when things turn around.
True. You're right. That's facts.
But I went 0-4. At that point, I kind of had accepted that I wasn't going to be a part of the game for a while. I was going to be on weak side duty. They did a bush camp where they just waited in the bush in top lane. And I was like, there's no way they're still here, right? And then I stepped up and they were. But I'd kind of accepted my fate of I was just going to be weak side Jace. And then after a couple mid rotations where I was able to get some good shock blasts on their bot lane, I was just kind of back in the game. And things started to really feel that uptick. I was able to fight everyone besides Jax. And then I just stuck Joey in the side lane to deal with the Jax. I was like, I'm sorry, he's your problem now. And killed the rest of the team.
We've got a few more questions. One of them from chat. Powa Core would like to ask you, why are you so sexy?
Oh, thank you. It's because I have the love and appreciation of fellow bees in the BTL
That is
community.
disgusting. All right.
I
Anyway.
remember there was an important question actually from that Mayo posed earlier.
Wait, no, let me ask him. Okay.
Hey, go for it.
So this Mr. Satan guy was casting, right?
Right.
And he
By
goes,
myself.
yeah, and he goes, listen to this. He goes, Plobe blows his TP top lane, so like catch a wave or whatever. It doesn't matter. But he literally says Plobe blows with that same inflection, and I'm like, oh, that rhymes. So your thoughts, not toxicity aside, or toxicity removed from the equation.
Yeah.
Plobe blows. Does that phrase not rhyme?
It almost rhymes.
I mean, no. It rhymes. Agreed.
It does not rhyme.
It rhymes.
It
Wait,
does
hold
not
on.
rhyme.
Look,
does not
Walker.
rhyme.
Listen,
It does not
Walker.
rhyme,
Listen to
Mayo.
this. Cast.
Get
Listen to
outta
this. Cast.
here.
No, I've literally been the biggest Walker cheerleader in the multiverse. Just say it rhymes.
It rhymes.
Thank you. You heard it here. You heard it
Is
first.
Mayo trolling? It does not rhyme. Mayo
Plo blows.
with any
Plo
ellipsis
blows.
after this.
No. It rhymes. It rhymes. Plo blows.
Perhaps it is my love for Plobe that refuses to admit it rhymes, but I think chat and Walker have both decided against you. It does not rhyme.
No, it rhymes. Now, Plobe doesn't actually blow, of course. Love you. But Plobe blows 100% rhymes. Can't convince me otherwise.
All right.
But Walker, any final comments? Any shout outs there?
Any call outs?
1 in 3 now.
Yeah, you want to let the rest of the league know?
I want to give a shout out to them giving Chase his thresh, and he got 5 kills. Was on a slaying spree there for a bit.
Yeah, after the level 1 play, I think he was ignited to turn it on.
Yeah, I think that's it though. No one can hold us down forever. PO forever.
Hot shit. Well, good job. Way to kick ass today. Take
Thank
down
you.
TSC, and we look forward to hopefully seeing P2 and 3 next week. For all of y'all out there who are watching, thank you for enduring my horrible solo casting. And thank you, Mayo, for joining me for the last 10 minutes or so. I definitely needed help. And with that, Tim, I don't know if you are still here. We can cut stream, but if not, I don't know what we're going to do besides sit here. So yeah.
Yeah, wait,
We
if
can
you
hang out.
can end the
Have a
stream,
good
we're all
night,
gonna sit here.
everyone.
Okay.